Naruto is a very complex series with a lot of different stories and tales. A lot of things could not be told in the original manga, which was the reason why after the Naruto manga was finished, several novels were released, which were primarily focused on other main characters like Kakashi, Shikamaru, Sakura, and etc. One of the novels that was released on June 4th, 2015 was Gaara Hidden, a Sandstorm Mirage, which, as the name suggests, is a novel about Gaara. This book is 100% canon and is part of the series. A lot of interesting things have happened in this novel. Several interesting characters have also made their debut in this novel, and one of them is Shijima Hoki, a mysterious kunoichi who wields the blue Sharingan. And this is the topic I want to talk about today. But before we talk about it, I want to ask you guys to make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy. Have a great day. Now let's jump into it. This novel begins by explaining the harsh situation Gaara is in as a village leader. After the 4th Great Ninja World War, the Wind Daimyo has been reluctant to fund issues that arose as a result of the 4th Great Ninja World War's victory, compensation to the families of shinobi who died during the war, or rehabilitation costs for those who were injured. It was currently Gaara's job to try and get the money for those issues from the daimyo. Also, there was a lack of missions for the hidden sand ninjas because the feudal lord was hiring ninjas from other villages since they were much cheaper. Because of that, the villagers were upset, and a lot of them blamed Gaara for not knowing how to negotiate and manage the necessary things. His public likability had also decreased, so much that young people wanted Kankuro to replace him as a village leader. Because unlike Gaara, who only gave orders from his office, Kankuro did missions with them, and it could be said that they admired him a lot. Also, Kankuro was the leader of the counterterrorism division. The goal of this division is to locate and arrest wanted criminals who are listed in the bingo book. Because of that, Kankuro's popularity increased to the degree that people said that he should be the Kazekage and not his younger brother. However, this was not the only problem Gaara faced in this novel. Ebizo, the current head of the council, asked to discuss something with Gaara. As he slowly builds towards the topic he has in mind, Gaara tries to guess what minor personal issue it was. He was caught off guard when Ebizo revealed that he and the rest of the council would like Gaara to get married. Because Temari was going to be married into the Konoha clan, any child she would have would be a Konoha ninja. If Gaara and Kankuro died before producing heirs, that would mean that a Konoha ninja would have a claim to the Kazekage position, something that the council wanted to avoid. Therefore, they wanted Gaara to find a wife so that he could in turn have children. Gaara tried to deflect their suggestion by pointing out that Kankuro, being older than him, should get married before him. He was informed that Kankuro had already been approached about it and that he had successfully argued that Gaara, as the Kazekage, should marry first. The council insisted that their desire to see Gaara married was motivated more by recompense for turning him into a Jinchuriki years ago than by political consideration. Unable to argue out of the situation, Gaara accepted the marriage meeting that the council had arranged. The Hidden Sand Council organized a ceremony for Gaara to meet his fiancée. Since this was an important event, the ceremony was done in a luxurious place in a private way. Gaara obviously didn't want the luxury, but since he was the Kazekage, his wedding had to be done as a luxurious event to look good to the other villages. However, when the people of Hidden Sand learned about the magnitude of the ceremony, they became even angrier at Gaara because, while he was spending money on a lavish gathering, the people of the village were starving. At this ceremony, Gaara met his fiancée, Hakuto, who was accompanied by Shijima, who is a Kuniochi of Sunagakure and a member of the Hoki family. She is Hakuto's bodyguard and older sister, leaving her younger sibling with the succession of the clan. Shijima looked a lot like Hakuto. The only noticeable difference between them was that Shijima was wearing thick glasses. The reason for that was that at some point in the past she became an experiment of Orochimaru's. He was able to give her a replication of the Sharingan, but the experiment was considered a failure as the Sharingan was incomplete. This forced her to keep it sealed, which hindered her eyesight and caused her to wear thick glasses to compensate. After this, Shijima lost her position as the clan's heiress to her younger sister Hakuto, and she was named her bodyguard. Despite Shijima obtaining a fake replication of the Dojutsu Sharingan, she had to use a sealing technique on her eyes due to the Dojutsu being unrestrainable. This event left her wearing very thick, unsuited for the battlefield glasses. This, however, doesn't mean she can't use her incomplete Sharingan. If Shijima unseals her Sharingan, anyone caught in her gaze is placed in a paralyzed state, which causes great difficulty in molding chakra. Well, let's get back to the wedding ceremony, which was going well until the rebels hired by opponents of Gaara's attacked. Among the attackers, the ones who stood out the most were the twins, Itoro and Motoro, from the Konjiki clan. This clan is from Ishigakure, which is literally translated as village hidden in stones. Interesting enough, despite having the same name as Iwagakure, those two are completely separate villages. And the most interesting thing is that almost all the mercenaries from this village have Kekkei Genkai. The brothers were users of steel and lava, releasing Kekkei Genkais. The brothers attack Gaara by executing lava and steel element techniques simultaneously. For a moment, the twins put the Kazekage in trouble, but in the end it was not enough. Gaara, with the help of Shijima, defeated them, and the ceremony continued because it was an important event that could not be cancelled. The ceremony concluded without further incident and everyone went to sleep in the hotel room they had. At midnight, Baki wakes Gaara up to inform him that they were attacked and someone took his fiancée, Hakuto. Gaara asks Baki not to do anything because he wants to handle the matter alone, and also does not want records of the incident to be left since the reputation of the Sand Village and that of the Kazekage would fall to the ground. Likewise, Gaara wanted to save her not only because he liked her and she was his fiancée, but also because that was his ninja way. Baki told him that he would give him 24 hours to resolve the matter on his own, but that if he didn't do so, he would be forced to mobilize and it would be inevitable that people would find out what had happened. Gaara gets ready, and when he is about to leave, Shijima appears, who is the girl who has the colored Sharingan, and asks him to let her accompany him to look for Jakuto. At first, Gaara didn't want to, but the girl insisted a lot. During this time, Gaara and Shijima coexist for a bit as they follow in the footsteps of the ninja who took Hakuto. At one point, they catch up with the subject in a ghost town, and Gaara is surprised to see that his fiancée is not tied up or hurt. She began to doubt whether her sister had really been taken by force. The person who took her was Shigezane, a ninja from the same clan as his fiancée, the Hoki clan. Gaara knew this ninja because he was mentioned by the 4th Kazekage, father of Gaara, who taught him how to use water release to collect precious metals from the ground, such as gold dust. Gaara then fights Shigezane, but loses because he had to save Shijima. In the end, Gaara and Shijima were trapped in an underground passageway, and this is where the girl confessed that Orochimaru did experiments on her when she posed as the 4th Kazekage. Shijima removes her thick glasses and tells him that Orochimaru had to sacrifice her body to replicate Kanoja's Sharingan. The design of the Sharingan was strange because 7 colors were mixed with each other. All of that was Orochimaru's doing, because when the legendary Sannin defeated the 4th Kazekage and pretended to be him for a time, he performed forbidden experiments on the people of the Hidden Sand. In Shijima's case, they tried to clone the Sharingan, but the experiment went wrong and the girl had to seal her eyes with glasses since she couldn't control the colored Sharingan. After the talk, they left the corridor and started looking for Hakuto again. Gaara and Shijima reached the border between the country of wind and the country of fire, and they saw Hakuto and Shigezane holding hands. They loved each other, and the whole thing about her being forcibly taken away had been planned. Gaara tells them that he already guessed all of that, and tells them that he's not against them loving each other and being together, but warns Shigezane that he will attack him because he intends to leave the village, and that he, as Kazekage, cannot allow renegade ninjas to escape. When Hakuto sees them getting ready to fight, she starts to shed tears because she didn't want either of them to get hurt. Obviously, Shigezane is no match for Gaara because no matter how skilled he is Gaara. After a brief fight where Shigezane executed water element techniques, Gaara easily tanks them, and then Shijima, who was the bodyguard supposed to be looking for her sister Hakuto, gets into the fight and challenges Gaara too. It seems she was also part of the charade they had put together to escape. Shijima removes her glasses and uses the colored Sharingan on Gaara. As her Sharingan was a failed experiment, she didn't have the same abilities as the Sharingan we know. In fact, Shijima's Sharingan's only ability was to paralyze her opponent just by looking at him. However, by doing this, Shijima not only felt a burning sensation throughout her body, but she also looked affected and became paralyzed herself. In other words, in addition to being able to lose her life, she was neutralized. At the end of the novel, Gaara beats Shijima and tells them that, as the Kazekage, his duty would be to kill the three of them for betraying the Hidden Sand, but he decided not to. At that moment, Shikamaru appears, who had previously been contacted by Gaara since, from the beginning, he sensed that all this was a love affair. Gaara and Shikamaru concluded that Hakuto and Shigazane will go to live in the Leaf Village, while Gaara and Shijima will return to the Sand Village to report that they had eliminated Hakuto and Shigazane after leaving the village. With this, Gaara spared their lives and gave the three of them a second chance. The interesting thing about this scene is that Shikamaru made fun of Gaara because he realized that he and Shijima had developed a somewhat loving friendship. On the other hand, in Tsunagakure, Kankuro arrested a high-ranking advisor who was the one who put together the whole plan to overthrow Gaara and put another Kazekage that he could manipulate in charge. In the end, nothing happened in the love life between Gaara and Shijima. They remained good friends, and that's all. Anyway, that's all for this video. I hope this was informative. Make sure to check out our other videos if you like this one.